Hello dear viewers, thanks for tuning in. If you're hearing baby sounds in the background, that's because I literally have her in my chest carrier right now while recording. I really hoped I would never have to make this type of videos again, but here we are. Because Games Workshop is attacking fan animations again, by striking them with copyright takedowns. And frankly, this makes me really sad that they're still going legally after fan creators. And I think it's necessary to talk about it so the community knows what's going on. On March 19, this creator called Wolfen received a takedown request notification for 2 of his videos on YouTube. He's a channel currently with 810 subscribers, and I randomly stumbled upon it when he posted it in a Discord server, and I decided to reach out to get all the information. Due to a copyright removal request that we received, your video will be taken down from YouTube in 7 days. Then it lists the title, video URL, the content that was allegedly used and infringed upon with the copyright registration number. The takedown was officially requested by Games Workshop, and they just claim the entire video. And the contact info in case you want to contact them. When someone does a takedown request, they have 2 options. The first is to do an immediate takedown, and then the channel gets an official copyright strike. Alternatively, the channel can be given 7 days to comply, and if they don't remove the content themselves within 7 days, they also get a copyright strike. For those who don't know, if your channel gets 3 strikes, you will be permanently banned, so it's quite bad. In this case, the creator was given 7 days to comply. Although YouTube's system immediately agreed upon this takedown request, unfortunately for Games Workshop, apparently they didn't do their homework, and someone at YouTube manually stepped in to inform them that the request was invalid. The creator was also sent the full transcript, and it reads: "We require a more detailed description of your copyrighted work. We won't be able to process your request until you have provided us with this information. We encourage you to provide any specific details that you feel will be useful. Information such as the title of the work, the type of work, the author's name, the date of the work was created, the copyright registration number, and the specific timestamps at which your work appears in the video in question will greatly assist us in processing your request." So yeah, apparently Games Workshop legal department was too lazy to properly fill out all the information and just assumed it would be taken down without further inquiry. They were wrong, and the creator was officially informed by YouTube that the videos had been reinstated. Unfortunately for him, that's not where this ends, because yeah, of course Games Workshop weren't going to let that happen, and the next day this creator got another takedown request from YouTube for the same videos. So yeah, just this really proves that it was not an automatic bot striking random videos, but definitely some legal employee at the Games Workshop manually attempting to target these specific videos. This all looks very legit, it's not some copyright troll, this is Games Workshop. Since he had 7 days to respond, I advised him to immediately reach out to Games Workshop legal team using that email to ask for clarification and find out what exactly are the reasons his video were taken down, and if there is perhaps a way to resolve the issue. So on March 22, which is 3 days after the first failed copyright takedown notice, he wrote a very eloquent email that is kinda long, so I won't share it here, but the TLDR is that he explains he's been a very big Warhammer fan all his life. His channel is entirely unmonetized and only a passion project. He understands that Games Workshop needs to protect their IP, but asks if there is a potential compromise for sharing his animation on YouTube in a way that aligns with their copyright policies. And if there are any modifications he needs to make, like specific disclaimers or under certain conditions, he'd be more than willing to do so, and he's happy to hear from them. And I know he's telling the truth, that he's not making money because the channel is too small to meet the criteria for monetization on YouTube. And he doesn't have any links to a Patreon or a crowdfund or whatever to donate. So he just made it because he really likes Warhammer. So after waiting for several days, there has been no response from Games Workshop, and the videos are now officially taken down by YouTube. When you go to the links, it says the videos no longer exist and actually says the video has been taken down by a copyright claim from Games Workshop. Of course, big companies are really slow, and so we've been patiently waiting in hope they would respond. Funnily enough, they were fast enough to respond to YouTube's objection by dropping another takedown request literally the next day, but after almost 2 weeks they still haven't responded to this creator's email, so big common L for Games Workshop. Now in the meantime, I've been going over the removed videos to see if there was anything that would have warranted the copyright takedown request. There's still a lot of fan animations out there publicly that haven't been removed, so I thought perhaps in this case there was maybe something very specific or special that triggered Games Workshop into taking these videos down. So I asked the creators to send me the videos, I will watch over them again, and I've also asked him if perhaps he has been using official Games Workshop models, music or anything else for his animations, to which he responded that the answer is most likely no, and that almost everything in his most recent animation was modeled completely from scratch by himself. He did use some models he downloaded from Sketchfab, but absolutely nothing that is directly owned by Games Workshop themselves. His older video that was removed used a bit more publicly available models from Sketchfab, since he was still a beginner then, but again, no assets directly owned by Games Workshop themselves, so no models or textures ripped from a Warhammer game. All music was royalty free. He said he did use one bolter sound from a Warhammer game, but he mixed this together with 5 or 6 other sound effects so that it would literally be impossible to tell that it was. He also sent me the full video descriptions, which include the disclaimer that these projects are 100% unofficial. It also states that he is in no way profiting financially from this in any way, which once again I know is true because it would be impossible since his channel does not meet the requirements for monetization yet. As you may have been able to see for yourself in this video, although his animation was definitely inspired by his artist, I mean, who wouldn't? In many ways it is just 100% his own work with his own 3D models and animations. So yeah, this kinda leaves us with a lot of questions on why Games Workshop was so hellbent on taking down this specific channel's work, while there are so many other bigger creators who still have their fan animations out there. I've really thought about it and discussed with other creators on this topic, but there seems to be no pattern to who or why they will target. It's not about copyrighted models or music, it's not about ripped game assets or sound effects, it's not about lack of disclaimers, and it's not about monetization. So as long as Games Workshop's legal team does not respond with clarification, this is all going to be speculation, but honestly, I'm fucking done with these idiots. And since they insist on treating us fan creators like criminals, I'm just gonna say what I think is actually happening here. So what I think is that Games Workshop legal team actually has learned from the backlash that happened when they banned fan animations several years ago and decided to let us be for a while to let things cool down, because if they strike at any big channel, there's bound to be more outcry from the fans and boycotting of Warhammer Plus and their models. As far as I've been able to tell, the main argument in favor of why Games Workshop has been doing this is the idea that if they don't occasionally defend their IP from fan animations, then in the eyes of the law, they may have been negligent when it comes to protecting their IP, and once it starts becoming so common that everybody is doing it, then it sort of starts entering the public domain. And even though they hold the legal rights, they eventually lose the authority to claim it as their own, at least when it comes to common things like the depiction of Space Marines. Now obviously I'm not a lawyer and trademark laws are kinda complex and differ a lot between countries, so I wouldn't be able to tell if that's actually true or if it actually applies in this case. It does however seem as if Games Workshop thinks that's the case and necessary, because I can't see any reason for why they specifically targeted this creator other than just to build a trail of legal paperwork so that they can claim they've been taking legal actions to protect their IP. So now that they think everybody has kind of forgotten about what happened during Warhammer Plus a few years ago, they are trying again, but this time trying to be smart about it. So instead of going after big channels, they're targeting the small channels, hoping that they won't be causing a big outrage like last time, because they think if nobody knows the channel, if they have relatively few subscribers, then there won't be an outcry by fans. And that is why I made this video, because I think Games Workshop should just leave us fan animators the fuck alone, no matter how many subscribers you have. And I think it's a very scummy tactic to be so sneaky about attacking a smaller creator. Just as sneaky as when they quietly updated their legal policies on their website to include fan animations in the zero tolerance list, alongside piracy and counterfeiting, which is just insane to me, without communicating anything about this with the fans. And they just hoped we would not notice. If they really wanted us to stop making fan animations, just let us know through a public community post or something and stand for your decision, but don't be fucking sneaky in the hope that nobody will notice and then behind everybody's back try to take us down one by one. I mean, come on, think about it. Someone at Games Workshop must have really gone out of their way to completely overlook all the other well-known fan animations that are out there to find a really small channel and be like, yeah, I'm gonna strike this guy in particular. Seriously, how fucking petty is that from a multi-million-dollar company? So yeah, this is my speculation. They targeted this guy because he doesn't have a big audience, so they can prove they've taken legal actions, but also they're trying to prevent causing another outrage within the large community because they know that will hurt their profits. Frankly, whatever they do, I'm sure it won't hurt their reputation because it can't get any lower than it currently is anyway. I'm not gonna let this bullshit slide again, so if you agree, comment on this video telling them how you feel about it, and if you really want to make a difference, send an email to Games Workshop legal team that you don't want them to take down fan animations again, because frankly, that will be the only thing that we can do, and hopefully it will prevent Games Workshop from stupidly going down the same path again, or at least delay them a bit because they know we are watching their every step. Please spread this video around so the wider Warhammer community knows that Games Workshop is attacking fan animations again. Thanks for watching this video.